Hello everyone and welcome to today's panel, Start Your New Career with Metro Bank in partnership with Diversifying Group. My name is Yanni, I'm a diversity and inclusion consultant at Diversifying Group and I will be your host and moderator for today's panel. So today's panel is all about making a career change. And today we'll be talking about the opportunities that Metro Bank has. We'll be hearing from people who had a career change and also the support that Metro Bank provide you in having a new career change. It's really important to remember that careers are not linear. We go up, we go down, we go left, we go right, we go diagonal, we go side to side. And sometimes we have that leap and jump to a completely new career. And hopefully today will give you some insights and possibly empower you to take that really scary first leap to a new career. So before I jump into the panel, I thought I'd talk a little bit about who Diversifying Group is, the partnership that Diversifying Group have with Metro Bank, the format of today's event, and finally provide you some insights into the culture and environment at Metro Bank. So first off, who is Diversifying Group? Diversifying Group is a diversity and inclusion services company founded by incredible CEO Cynthia Davis. About 7 or 8 years ago, Cynthia was in various leadership positions across different sectors. And she often found herself to be the only woman or person of colour in the room. When she was pregnant with her daughter, she was motivated by her experiences and the notion that she wanted to create a society where her daughter had equal opportunities and be accepted for her authentic self, changing society, but also how diversity and inclusion looked in the world of careers. So, armed with a laptop and at her kitchen table, she started Bain Recruitment. But in those 7, 8 years, Bain Recruitment added some different services and developed. We now don't just do recruitment, we do consultancy, training, job board, marketing, events. So last year we rebranded to Diversifying Group to one, reflect the language within society, but also reflect all the services that we provide. And we no longer just talk about race and ethnicity, we talk about all the protected characteristics and beyond. So, Diversifying Group is proud to partner with Metro Bank. Metro Bank truly embraced diversity and inclusion and also the community that it serves. Community is at the heart of Metro Bank. It provides opportunities in the local community, hiring people within the local community, but also providing opportunities for the local community to be empowered with skills and develop them so they are successful too. In partnership with Metro Bank, we support Metro Bank in their diversity and inclusion journey, and also provide by providing things like training, consultancy advice, but also events like today. So how is this event happening today? So the format of the event is a panel discussion and followed by a Q&A with the audience after my Q&A section. So I have my own questions and I'm sure you have your questions, but you don't have to wait until my Q&A bit is over. I want you to engage throughout this whole discussion and ask questions in the chat wherever you have them. So it's not just me answering questions, it's also our panelists, but also we have some people in the chat who can also support and answer your questions as we go along. I also promised you something about insights into culture and environment at Metro Bank. So without further ado, I'm going to invite Khushbu onto the screen to tell us a little bit about the culture environment at Metro Bank.
Thank you so much, Yanni, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for spending some time and joining the call. My name is Khushbu. I'm the Head of Engagement and Inclusion at Metro Bank. So I cover all things around our amazing culture, everything to do with colleague engagement and well-being, and the all-important diversity and inclusion piece. At Metro Bank, diversity and inclusion is at the heart of everything we do. We've talked about the community bank piece, and Yanni, thank you so much for mentioning that. But actually our colleagues are the powerhouse behind that, and having this partnership with Diversify is just one part of it. So everything that we do focuses around colleague belonging. We've got fantastic diversity and inclusion strategy, and it's helped us, and we're making such good inroads in where we are. So 46% of our colleagues are female, 48% come from an ethnic minority background, and 65% of our apprenticeships are from some of the UK's most deprived areas. And so everything that we do is not just around the statistics, but it's what our colleagues are telling us as well. So our latest engagement surveys, for example, our colleagues are saying that they can feel they can be their true selves, their authentic selves at work. We're also an employer of equal opportunities, and our colleagues have scored us over global benchmarks on both categories. So we're so proud to be this place of belonging for all of our colleagues. Now, today we're going to focus on new careers, and new careers doesn't mean just for young people. I've heard the term squiggly careers. I've heard my favourite term is a career jungle gym. And without further ado, I'd like to hand back to Yanni to talk about Metro Bank, what a proud age inclusive workplace we are, and our amazing panel will tell you lots more about that.
Thank you, Kushbu. I like that. I like squiggly careers, the jungle gym, and also my favorite that you said was the powerhouse behind the community and culture, and that's your people. So let's actually meet some of your people. So without further ado, let's meet our panelists. Today we have Tally, Gurdev, Dave, and Sugi. Welcome.
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hi. Before I ask you some questions, could I just get a little small intro to everyone? So I'm just going to go around how it is on my screen like this. So I'm going to go for Tally, then Gurdev, Dave, and then Sugi.
Hello there. Hello, everybody. My name is Tally. I am years old and I work in Metro Bank in Ilford at the Ilford site. You can't see behind me, but I'm at the contact centre in Ilford at the moment. My role, I've just been promoted to the position of team coach.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So after you've been trained to take the calls, you go through academy. They give you the first, like the basics. Then you get right live on the shop floors, as it were, say, and take calls. And then after that, once you've done your stuff, then you jump up to the role of team coach. That's assisting the newbies that start, guiding them through, not telling them the answer, but leading them to find their own way and use the Metropedia and other things, but ignore all that jargon. I'm happy to meet everybody. Hello.
Thank you, Tally.
Right, my name is Gurdev. I'm based at Bexley Heath. It's not far from it's within the Broadway Shopping Centre. I've been here 6 years now. I joined Metro Bank 6 years, like I said. I am 64 years this year. So there's no stopping anyone to join Metro Bank. So there is so much opportunity here. That's all I'm going to say at this moment in time. So we'll talk about the other stuff, and it's really nice to be here and talk about Metrobank, how it is really here is Metrobank, because I am in the store at this moment in time. You can see behind me. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Gurdev. Love that live shot. So moving on, Dave.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Dave. I'm 58, so good trumps me age-wise. I've been with Metro Bank for nearly 5 years now, and my job title is Customer Service Representative. So my job involves meeting, greeting, and serving the customers who walk into high street locations. Prior to Metro Bank, I spent 7 years serving in the Royal Navy, and then 25 years working in food retail at Sainsbury's. So banking is still relatively new to me in my long career. Thank you.
Thank you. Molly Sugi.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you all. I'm Sugi. I attached to contact center. I am a business expert. So I'm a mother of two kids. So Metrobank allowed me to do a part-time where I do only 3 days a week. So there are plenty of opportunity if you're a mother having very young kids. Very lovely environment. People are very lovely. They're so helpful. So I don't have any complaints. I've been here for about nearly 3 years. Fantastic place to work.
Thank you. Some great testimonies already. Okay. So diving into my first question. Can you tell us a bit about your role at Metro Bank and what the day-to-day looks like?
Yeah, let me start. Tally, you gonna go for it? Yeah, go for it.
Are we going in the same order or what?
Yeah, can do.
Yeah, so I can get mine out the way. Hello there. So day to day, I can't lift up my webcam and go around. And the person that was sitting behind me realised I was in this meeting, so they ran away. But you can't really hear, but there's about, I don't know, about 30 or 40 people in the room at the moment taking calls from the customers that call our number. And then from the contact centre here, like I've worked with Shuggy before, so if it's a business call, um, it may be directed to her department, or it could be mortgages, or risk, or fraud, or there's all these different departments within Metro Bank. So it's a really good opportunity for anybody that's trained in anything. You can transfer the skills that you have. Like I worked in casinos for more than 20 years, and I didn't even see the sort of the collaboration between that customer service and this customer service. But knowledge of government protocol, we have to know about anti-money laundering, etc., within casinos, and that discerning. I worked in Mayfair with some heads of state and all sorts of customers, diplomats and everything, but using that customer service experience helped me to apply for this job and get the role and get a promotion in it, having that empathy for every kind of customer. And also with a little bit of age behind me, I've had a mortgage. So when somebody's ringing up with some questions about it, I can direct them to the right department, the right person, and also kind of understand the stressfulness of having that, or even getting a checkbook. I know some of the newer generation never even seen a checkbook. We can still issue some, or you can still get some in. So to explain that to a different customer, sometimes the age and the experience from previous jobs really helps out. Everything can be transferable to this role. And as a team coach, as I said earlier, like you have your training with Academy. I went through it in December 2020. That's when I started. And I'll be honest with you, I was not the best. I mean, I could learn how to type, but in school, I think there was one computer for the whole class, and it was green and it was attached to a telly with a tape deck, really basic stuff. But I was given plenty of training, plenty of ways and shown ways of how to do it. Lots of training, and positive training, not just blah blah blah, but click this, multiple choice, group work, things like that. Really getting you engaged and getting me prepared to take my very first call. Because with this job in this department, you never know what the call could be. It could be, oh, what's my balance? Or, excuse me, can I make an appointment to come in? So with all these transferable skills will come in really handy. And best of luck if you're going to apply for it. I highly recommend Metro Bank.
Thank you, Tally. Really like that. It's like not even just like your kind of the work skills, the transferable skills, but also like lots of your life skills have been in there, and that's really good to hear, especially like when trying to find a new career. It's really important.
Especially on this side of 40 as well, it can be discouraging. But within Metro Bank, every little bit counts and can be used for the job.
It's great to hear. Thank you. Okay, so moving on to Gerda.
Fantastic, thank you. Like I said to you before, I've been with Metro Bank for 6 years. I hope you can hear me. So I started off, I don't know why I started off. I started off as a cashier. I could have gone for a CSR role. The way how I joined, I think I mentioned this to some of my other colleagues here, is I was walking just behind here, as you can see, with my wife on my day off. I've never heard of Metro Bank. And like yourselves, I know some of you are apprehensive, never heard of Metro Bank, and I'll tell you what, I was very curious. On the day, in the evening, sitting in front of the TV, I pulled up my laptop and started researching on Metro Bank. And I'll tell you what, I I applied for, I don't know why, I applied for the job. I was already working. I got the call next day. And within two weeks, I was working for Metro Bank, and this was here at Bexley Heath store. I was just amazed. At the same time, I also applied for Barclays, where I'd worked about 10 years before at corporate checks. And they never replied to me for about a month and a half, even for an interview. But I was working with Metrobank within 2 weeks. That was amazing. I think the lady on the other side who was interviewing me, I think I was impressed. I was really impressed with her rapport in a sense. And soon as I came here doing cashiering, I've learned so much. And then I was CSRing, so I'm multi-skilled. I'm a business trained. I'm also train other colleagues or coach colleagues on ADA. I'm an ADA champion. What that means is how to talk to customers, questioning and everything, how to help customers. So we have to be very, very sensitive to customers in a sense. We're not here in targets. We help customers here. We create fans here. And we build a relationship with customers here. And it's a long time. These customers come in and they say, personally come and say hello to you. And this is quite humbling, that is. And my thing about helping customers is once I help a customer, I would like to see a smile on their face. As soon as they walk out, they've got an account with them and everything. They've got their family coming into store as well. And they're calling you by your first name. And that is really, really good. I mean, apart from that, I mean, I love working for Metrobank. I'm 64 years old this year. You're never too old to learn. The day you think you know everything, that's the day to put the nail in the coffin. And you need to be in that learning mode all the time. And I think if you are thinking about joining Metrobank, I highly recommend it because you don't need any financial background. Everybody's here to help you as they're trained. And don't be hesitant. Just dive in. I'm not kidding you. There's so much training here. And it's not just here in store. You can move within the Metrobank anywhere in other departments. And the sky's the limit here. Okay. So, I hope that helps. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's really good to have that learning mindset. And I agree with you with the when you start researching about Metrobank, you find out some really cool things. I encourage people to find out about Metroman because I found about that and I was fascinated. So yeah, thank you. So moving on to Dave.
Thank you. I mentioned earlier on that my previous job was working in Sainsbury's. They made me redundant, and then I spent a couple of years at home enjoying my life, thinking I'm probably going to retire. And then I found I was missing customer and colleague interaction. So I started looking for a new job. Metrobank came along, and they were kind enough to give me a job. So having had 2 or 3 years in between jobs, I came back into the workplace. So if that's a route that other people are taking on the call, then Metrobank certainly encourages people who are not currently employed. So when I joined Metrobank, I became a customer service representative. My job involves meeting people who come into the stores, and typical day jobs would include opening new accounts for new customers, opening further accounts for existing customers, perhaps closing accounts, offering them opportunities for lending, such as credit cards or overdrafts, even have conversations about mortgages briefly. And then we also look after young kids who come in. When they become old enough at 11 years old to open accounts, we can do that for 11-year-old and above kids as well. And then also part of my role is to act as a cashier. So I'll be behind the counter receiving cash deposits or paying out withdrawals, helping customers with transactions at the counter, which may include change of personal details, such as change of phone number, change of address, and so on. So quite a wide range of subjects that the customers are looking for when they come into a store to see us, and my job encompasses all of those things. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dave. Okay, and finally, Siggy.
Yeah, hi. So as I said before, I'm attached to business team. So where I get mostly business calls. So once in a while we get other calls as well. So I am basically attached to the contact center. We keep on answering calls, completing customers' requirement, making payments. So as I said, I am a part-timer. So I joined as a part-timer. I work for 3 days. So I requested it and approved it, and you won't believe I actually applied for the full time. So since I couldn't since I couldn't sort out my kids' things, I requested it on the first day, and immediately they did some amendments. And because I have one special need kid, so they went extra mile to help me to go on a part-time. So I do 3 days a week and I'm working from home. So you have another opportunity also where they will allow you to work from home if you have any very important reasonable conditions. They will allow you to work from home as well. So being in Metrobank, as I said, it's a lovely environment. People are so lovely. If you don't know, you can ask anyone. Even if you see head of some department or a manager, you can just walk to them and you can ask any help or any doubts. They're gonna reply to you. So very good culture. I mean, it's a lovely place to work. I was on career break for about 7 years, and I applied for Metrobank. That was my first application after the career break, and I got the role. And I was a bit very scared to come in because after 7 years gap, I was a mother, newly married, got young kids. I was wondering how I'm gonna how I'm gonna carry on with my career, how the people is going to be. So, but honestly, it was a lovely place. Everyone was very welcoming. Um, you don't need to be afraid. So the Metro Bank is, I would say, the best place to work. You can learn a lot. They will give you an extra hand if you need any extra support. If you're not happy, if you have any concerns, if you have any family issues, there are someone will be there to speak to them, and they will go extra mile to sort it out for you. So I would say, honestly, it's the best place to work. I will never think of leaving Metrobank.
Thank you, Sugi. That's
Yeah.
great testament to what I said about like at the beginning about embracing diversity and inclusion. That literally is a case study on embracing diversity and inclusion. That's really, really great to hear. My second question was actually what made you choose Metro Bank, but I think all of you have given us some really good insight on that already. So I'm just going to move on to my next question, and it's actually following on from Sugi's testimony, but would like to hear some other insights into this as well. Can you tell us about Metro Bank's inclusive culture?
We going around the clock again?
Yeah, but we can start differently this time. Should we
Let's go the other
start?
way.
Yeah. Should we go from Dave first?
Yeah, thank you. I'll chip in. We've heard quite a lot about this topic already, I think, but I had a
Mm.
little look on our communications just over the last couple of weeks, and I think these topics perhaps are relevant about inclusivity. Excuse me. So, for example, we've had an email talking about Wellbeing Wednesday, which is something that happens every week, and it talks about a walk to work day on the 7th of April, I think it is, and it's encouraging us all to participate in that. We've also had a communication about mental health support, something that's really important and widespread in Metrobank. We've got a thing called Nudge, where people can get personal financial support. We've also got a great package for women at work. I think we heard earlier on that 48% of our employees are women, and there's a great movement for women at work in our business as well. And then I think also mentioned briefly earlier on was the protected groups. There's a big showing for people involved in in the Pride network for LGBTQ issues. So there's lots and lots going on for people who like to participate in functions, events, celebrations, etc. And we get reminded and invited to participate in lots of things on that front as well. And then other things where everyone is perhaps invited to participate. For example, we were asked to create a name for a new customer greeting app recently. It's not restricted to just one or two few selected people. It's open for everyone to join in with. We've got something else called a Yam Jam, where all colleagues are invited to have conversations with senior people in the business. And then there's also a thing called Tea with Exco, which is a similar venture where all colleagues are invited to have conversations with people on the board in the company as well. So I think they're perhaps examples where every colleague is included, whether they're on the bottom rung, halfway up, right at the very top. There's a place for all people to play their part and share in conversations about where the business is and where the business is going.
Yeah, so many things for people to get involved with, and I'm personally an extrovert, so I really like talking to people and getting to know them a little bit more. So that's really, really, really good opportunities for everyone. I really enjoy that. But also, if you're a little bit more introverted, there's there's other things for you as well. So that sounds really, really positive. So thank you, Dave. So who else to go next? Should we go up to Tally?
Hello, everyone again. Hi. Regarding inclusivity, I mean, I do tick a lot of the protected characteristic boxes, but I can go on just a couple of them today. So I use a walking aid. I don't know if you can see my beautiful paisley walking stick that I have under my desk.
Nice.
Can you see there? There we are. So yes, I have severe arthritis, which was on my application, and that wasn't a hindrance. And also last year, if I can try and hold this up to the right bit of the webcam, if you can see now, I'm a blue badge holder. If you can see that there,
Yeah.
I received that. I don't know, may take it out of the plastic. Maybe you can see my little moody face there. But yeah, I'm a blue badge. I received this last year, 2022, and I was quite nervous, like bringing it into the office, but I didn't have to be. I told my manager, and he was like, so, like there was nothing different. I was already given access to use the ground floor anytime I need to. Right now I'm on the middle floor. There's about 16, 17 steps, but there is a lift. Sometimes it's working, sometimes it's not, but that's not our fault. But if I'm not able to get up the stairs, if I have an arthritis flare up, I have use of the ground floor, no trouble at all, no questions asked. And then with our sort of adherence system, we have comfort breaks in this particular contact center. I know it may be different for a store or whatever, but I do know that there are facilities for every person. They will work around as much as they can, and the management and the other colleagues are more than happy to help out. I shouldn't have felt embarrassed at all. I was welcomed. In other jobs, I do know that they can be sort of and sort of cast to the side, but there was no different. I've not been treated any differently and not been felt to feel away, and I've been promoted because they want my brain. Luckily I don't have to do a jig around or anything. I can just sit down at this job. But I think people at home as well, working from home, some use stand-up desks if they want to, and I do know some people have been provided with them, but not everybody needs that. But I have an ergonomic chair. I have the wrist guard that you put because there is a lot of typing. I have the protected screen on the monitor because I need reading glasses every now and again, but that's been provided for me as well. And on the other thing, I'm an extrovert too, but I really like studying and keeping up with things. And at my age, I asked around and I said, was there qualifications, etc. And Metro Bank have paid for my professional banker certificate. I'm studying that now, myself and Shuggy. It's with the Chartered Bankers Institute. It's an internationally renowned and recognised qualification. And Metro Bank, the minute we said, hey, we'd like to keep studying, and we use this, and then that helps us with the extended opportunities program. That's another one we've been selected on, that people that maybe have disabilities, people of colour, LGBTQIA, and so on, things that have held them back before, not in Metro Bank. There's a whole opportunities program dedicated for this to give you the best chance, the best coaching, and the best guidance and best education, training, certificates to put your best foot forward to get those roles and break those ceilings that have been created in not just in banking communities, but in so many different jobs around that have that ceiling. And Metro are putting so many things in place to break that ceiling, and I'm really, really proud to be working for Metro Bank.
Thank you, Tally. And it's really heartwarming to hear that, especially when you're disclosing any personal characteristic that is non-visible, it's very difficult, and it's always a bit scary. And it's great that Metro Bank really embraced that and
I
provided
didn't
every
have to be
support you
scared
needed.
at all. It was better than I could have ever expected.
Yeah, be your authentic self, which I really champion and pioneer. So love that. And Gerdev, tell us about your inclusive culture at Metro Bank.
Right. I mean, I've worked in different industries. I worked for Barclays some years back, obviously, but celebrating Sikh culture of Vaisakhi, which, I mean, Dave has mentioned everything, and I'm glad he has. This just shows you how Metrobank is so open to everything, really. So I was interested in Vaisakhi in a sense, to raise sort of for the food bank in a sense. And we had an inpour of customers. We started setting it up here, and they were donating food and everything. I had every Asian customer involved in it. We had so much food here, and the food bank was just overwhelmed. They didn't take it in for about another 4 weeks. We had so much. They were taking
Wow.
bit by bit, and it was just amazing. And I'm still get customers involved with the Easter at this moment in time, which I'm doing. So that's one of the things I'm really interested in. And I've also taken colleagues to our local temple to show our sort of how the Sikh community works and everything. The free food which we offer to anyone, which so they were impressed with that. Another thing is the support which Metrobank has given me. I'll explain how that is because my wife is critically vulnerable. She has an infusion every week, so quite for some time. But as time has gone on, she has gone a bit worse over the years, and I asked for support, and they were happy to support me. Uh, and I was on a different shift pattern. I requested for a 9 to 5 shift from Monday to Friday, and they gladly offered me that. I was so happy with that, which I am now at this moment in time. And the support I've had from my line manager, for the store managers here, not just them, it's the local director as well, everyone at Metrobank. And I'm really, I am quite humbled by that, and the help they've given me. So if ever you're thinking about any sort of disability, what Italia have said to me, and obviously Sugi as well, we just mentioned about uh, sometimes we feel, okay, we're worried about things. Sometimes we worry about things which haven't even happened. And Metrobank is very good at that. If there is a challenge, they will overcome it. They don't look at the problem; they look at the solution, and this is where it comes in. I must say to you that if you are looking onto and you think that you have some sort of obstacle to join Metrobank, please ask, please find out a bit more rather than just walk away. Because I tell you what, this will be the best thing. I've been here 6 years. Like Sugi said, she doesn't want to leave. Of course, I don't want to leave. I live in Bexley Heath, and this is the best culture. Everybody's here to help you. If you don't know, there's always somebody to help you. I hope that helps. I'm going to keep it short, but so yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. There you can really tell that that community is the heart, especially with everyone's community donations, but also moves me nicely onto like something another topic that I want to talk about work-life balance and how they supported you and your family. So my question is, how are you supported to balance your life outside of work? So I'm going to go to Sugi first on this one, if that's possible.
So, hi everyone again. So, supporting your life balance outside of the work. So, as I said, so there was an instant I would like to share. So, I wanted to put my younger son who got a special need. I was planning to have a home learning instead of sending him to school. I wanted to start do the home learning where I thought that will improve him more. So I spoke to my manager and immediately, without saying no or thinking twice, of course, Sugi, anything, whatever it's help your son, we are there to help you. We can arrange a meeting, we can get that sorted out for you. So we had the meeting and I actually wanted to change my days. Instead of weekend, I wanted to do only the weekday. So we had the meeting, everything was got approved. It was, I mean, it didn't even take long. Within few, I think it took about a week or a two, and they said it's everything is approved, Sugi, you can work with your son and we will there whenever you need us. So that was done. So I was really shocked. Normally any organization, they might even take at least a month because the entire day is going to be changed, my time is going to be changed, but they never said no or refused immediately, they approved it. So that's really, it's really touched me a lot. As being a mother, I wanted to help my son, and my company, my organization really stood out for me. So they really helped me out. So apart from that, as Tali said, the professional banking certificate, I'm also doing it. So even if I mean, I'm not going to leave Metro. So if you guys are joining and if you have another plans of going to another bank, the professional banking certificate, the bank is paying you for that, and it is valid internationally. So even if you go out somewhere, it is a valid certificate where you don't need to pay a single penny. The Metro Bank is gonna afford it. Metro Bank will be sponsoring it for you. So another thing, so I work from home, as I said, and I do have back pain. So not every time, especially winter time, I get it. So they delivered a special chair with the back support. So that helps me a lot, honestly, especially during the winter time. So there are so many things they do out of the way to help you and to keep you comfortably and make your life more easier.
Mm.
So I hope this will help and inspire you guys as well.
Thank you. I can see like Tally nodding because I know that they've provided her with like a lot of different equipment as well. Yeah, so that's good to hear about the work-life balance, especially Gurdev, Sugi, Tally.
Yeah, and there's another thing also, if you have, like, for an example, I am the voice of colleague for my team. So I think that some of them are fasting for the Ramadan. So we go extra mile and you tell them if they want to go early instead of taking a lunch break, they can go home early.
Yeah.
They can take lunch, maybe half an hour lunch break and take half an hour, go home, or we allow them to pray in that inside the environment. So there are so many things going on. So not only for Ramadan, even for Diwali, Christmas, for everything we celebrate. Whenever they need an extra day off or want to go home early for certain things, they immediately they allow you.
Thank you. Conscious of time, so I was going to move on a little bit so we have some time for questions. So I understand some of you didn't work in the financial sector. So how did Metro Bank support you to support you into stepping into the world of financial services? And if any of you had worked in there, what's the difference, basically? Yeah. So how did it support you into stepping into the world of financial services? So I'm going to throw that to Dave first because, yeah, I've had some interesting experience. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I think my previous work experience in a supermarket meant I dealt with customers an awful lot, also a little bit with cash. So in terms of the technical side of my job here in Metro Bank, very little really, but it didn't really matter, as I think we've heard already from some speakers, because our company has fantastic setup for in-house training. We've got a brilliant training setup and a brilliant training team who cover off everything we need. And if you need a little bit more time, we provide a little bit more time. There's no panic about meeting timescales to get the training completed to the right standard. We've also got a fantastic in-house procedure system which we can refer to easily in our workplace, which allows us to consult all the guidance that we need to help us do what we need to do. And then we get regular updates with our training. So every month we'll get 2 or 3 little training packages that we need to complete, which keeps us current and up to date with changes in the banking industry or stuff that we need to refresh on a regular basis. So that happens each month, and that helps keep us fresh. But I think back in the beginning, training in a classroom environment or on a Teams environment, both for each step of the journey, whether it was for the basic induction, further training for some of the technical skills I needed for the first part of my job, get established at that, and then a little bit later, some more technical training for the next phase, and then the next phase. And we've got many a training package which covers off all the things we need to do. So I think that the training setup in Metro Bank is first class.
Thank you. Lots of training opportunities and develop skills. And it also just like emphasize what Gerda said about always having that development mindset and supporting you in that as well. So that's really cool. So who should we go to? Actually, as I just said Gerda's name, Gerda. Yeah, how did Metro Bank support you?
Support me in my family, sort of my balance in life, or do you mean
Oh,
here
support you
in
in
work?
stepping into that world of financial services.
Okay, so I mean, I'd worked for Barclays for 7 years, but that was in corporate checks. That was in the back office, in a sense. So that was unpaid, not front of dealing with customers. But I had previous experience. I'd been in the 70s. I was a TV video engineer. I was always in contact with customers, so I had that people skills in a sense. I had built that up, and I also, like most Asians, I had a shop as well, like many supermarket and off license. So I was always dealing with customers, uh, talking about complaints and everything, because we always see that. So I was in that as well. I was in the building industry as well, always kitchen fitter, and I was dealing with customers. So dealing with customers has always been there. But coming into Metrobank, when I started off with cashiering, I had no experience as cashiering, so that was something new to learn. So if anyone's want to become a cashier or a CSR, don't worry about it, because there's always somebody helping. So what you start off with your training, and then you're shadowing colleagues there, see how they work, right? But I always say to new colleagues coming in, and I've seen them coming in, they've got no financial background, and you can see their build up. They improve day on day, week on week, and you can see the change in them, right? And their confidence building, right? So that is good. So I don't think you need to worry about that. The training is there, the colleagues are there to help you. If you don't need any financial background, so you are building on a foundation. If you have none, your foundation's going to be there for you. Okay, so don't need to worry about. Thank you.
Thank you. And even what from Tally said earlier, it really like builds on all of your skills that you've had from your life and your previous careers as well. So that's really, really, really good to hear, and also develops you as a person. So again, conscious of time, just moving on to the next question that I have, and it's the final question before I open up to the floor. So if you have any questions, write them all in now. So my final question to all of you is, do you have any advice for someone looking to make a new start with their career? And I will pass that to Tally first.
Hello, everyone. Any advice? I would say apply for Metro Bank. I know that's one of them. Don't be frightened of it. Think the bank is a stuffy old boys institution. This is people banking. Metro Bank isn't like those other banks at all, as you can see, and you can get from our vibe of how we're talking about it. With my personal situation, I worked in the casino industry, the glamour and the whatevers for 20 plus years, and then the independent club I worked in, I got made redundant, so I had to look for a job in the middle of COVID, paying 2 mortgages. So I applied through my local council. And what it is with Metro Bank as well is they want to employ from the local community that it supports. So again, like with Gurdev and Bexley Heath, I'm based here in Ilford, and I'm born and raised 2 miles up the road in Forest Gate. And it was sort of unheard of that they would be linked with the local community outreach to get jobs. Like banks don't normally do that, as far as my opinion. They've never done that before. I'd never seen it ever advertised locally, that do you live locally, this is Metro Bank, we like to employ from the surrounding boroughs and towns. So I was successful in my application, and as I said, I done that one thing. I had no previous financial experience, and I've been taken on. They're giving me training to start anyway. Plus, I got the bite for it and hungry for more. So myself and Shuggy have now been selected to do additional training on top, and we're just going to start up a study group to help us because it's a lot. But we can do it, Shuggy. We can do it. And I said I'm nearer to 50 than to 40, and I've been here for 2 years, and my being this mature hasn't held me back in any way. I've just got promoted. I even won a little award in the last awards. I got that from the executive committee, because there's the thing we have called recognise. Thank you. It's like it's part of like Yammer and all these sort of jargon, but it's like Metro Bank personal Facebook. So if you like something like Instagram and how many likes, and you know you've got like that. So within within it, it's called recognize. And if you see somebody that's doing something or they've overcome something, they've tried really hard, then you can send them out a badge, and it really makes their day. And you'll say, oh, you really handled that call fantastically. You know, that customer was really upset, but you stayed calm and you handled it. So that still's not from finance, but from life, or just being a nice guy, you know. And then, so you get a badge, and then the leaders see it, and it's called recognize for a reason. That even if you think that, oh, I don't answer, I don't know all the answers, I don't know anything, it's everything is being looked at, and then you'll be selected for a different role, like in the academy with trainees from scratch, or other people are better at knowing exactly what to do, like to the letter of the law. You might like anti-money laundering for that, risk and fraud people, or you like to be on the fraud investigations team. If you're naturally curious and go, what's going on here, you start off wherever, and then the minute you do pass your
Oh, I think you just muted yourself.
minute you
Oh, okay.
magic. And you pass your probation, and then you can apply for so many different departments. Like I said, with mortgages, you could be on this team, you could be anything. You can work into the store or move from store to the contact center. There's so many things. You don't have to sort of pigeonhole yourself. And while you're here as well, there's lots and lots of shadowing. You can ask your manager and say, hey, I'm quite interested in what mortgages is all about, and they'll arrange for you to link up with somebody that's already on that team to take you around for the day and see if you like it. That you can talk to them, talk to a real person. So talk about how much money are you earning over in that department, and this and that, you know, and really, but ask the real questions and get the real answers that are really important. And you can have like a day in the life of that job to see if it was really for you or not. That is really, really encouraged. And here there's so many. You can just imagine, but there's so many, even from like finding out which person we're going to buy our laptops from, or things like all sorts of sales department, all sorts of things, complaints department, customer relations. There's so many jobs available for all the skills that all of you have and more. So I highly recommend applying for Metro Bank. Oh, thanks.
Thank you. I also really love that transparency and actually asking the question. So appreciate that. Okay.
It's a good question. You know, how much money are you earning over there? I think I might join you. You get a real answer. It's encouraged. You know, it's good.
Good. Okay. So I'm going to move on to Sugi. So what's your advice for anyone who's looking to make a career change?
Yeah, you mean whoever wants to start up a new role with us?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
whoever's looking to move. Yep.
Yeah. So I would say don't stop. Apply it today. Now go home. Go to our website, career page, upload your CV. I mean, we will give you the training from the scratch, so you don't need to worry. So even if you don't have any experience, or if you're on a career break, you're new to this field, you don't need to worry, because the Metro Bank will train you from the bottom. So don't think, okay, I'm very young, I'm still a student, I just came to this country, I don't have any experience. Don't worry, I was in that position a few years ago. So as I said, I had 7 years career break. I didn't have any plan. I didn't have any idea how I'm going to work. But the Metro Bank really helped you. How I mean, everything basically from the scratch about the system, how we handle the customer, how we're going to speak to the customer, or what are the processes we are following. So don't be afraid. Don't wait. Don't delay it. Go on. Apply it today itself.
Go on, go start, go.
Yeah.
Everyone go now. Okay, Dave, so what's your advice for anyone who's looking to a career change?
Yeah, briefly, I saw something just the other day which said some people are reluctant to apply for a job if they don't tick all the boxes of the requirements on a job application. So I'd say don't be shy, go for it. If you've got to do 10 things and you get into 7 or 8, just apply anyway.
Yeah.
Metro Bank is so accommodating. We can help people out if they're a bit short or a bit shy or nervous about something. We can skill people up to do all the things that we need them to do. So don't be shy, go for it.
Yeah, thank you. And also all those skills, like we all have, if you reflect on all your own skills, you've all got it. And so yeah, don't self-disqualify, just go do it. I love that. And finally, Gerda, what's your advice?
Is just come and join Metro Bank as long as you can smile. Yeah, that's all we need from you. I'll be frank with you, just smile and come in. And I forgot to mention this when I actually applied for Metro Bank. The first thing I done was just to check out as well. I wasn't sure. I came and opened an account here with Metro Bank. I just wanted to see what the customer service was like, as I talked about. And I came in, I was quite impressed, totally different from other banks because I had accounts with other banks and wasn't treated like, because every customer wants to be treated importantly, so they're important. That's the heart here at Metro Bank, and that's what I'd done. And I opened the account, and that reassured me. Yes, I'm going to go for this, and that's what I'd done. Not just that as well. We work here, of course, but we have fun as well. We have times when we open in new stores, okay, Metro Bank stores. And the last one I was at was in Leicester, where they opened the 77th store. And it was one of the biggest stores, which was great. And there was obviously Asian drummers there. And I'd done a bit of dancing there. And well, I didn't know, but the video went viral. So it went everywhere on Instagram, on YouTube, and everything. And next thing I know is I'm getting them on WhatsApp as well. That was the fun bit, looking at myself and cringing at the same time. So that was real fun. So guys, come in. We have fun as well, not just work. The colleagues have so much fun there. It's a team spirit here. Okay, that's no need to say that. Thank you.
Yeah, so anyone in the
Yeah,
audience, if you live
I
near
would
one,
like
go.
to add something
Yeah.
else. I mean, we do have Magic Friday. We get lots of free food, lots of drinks,
Nice.
lots of rewards. Yeah, lots of gifts. It's not only about work. We have lots of huddle, like we have free time where we have time to play around, play some games. There's so much going on within Metro Bank. I can assure you that you're gonna love Metro Bank if you're joining Metro Bank.
Yeah. So if you're in the audience, if you live near Metro Bank, go out and maybe on a Friday, you'll see what's happening. And maybe you'll see some of the swag that Tally was showing everyone, like the pens, the mug. So yeah, go out and see Metro Bank. I know we're going to run over a little bit, but I've got a couple of questions I know from the audience. Some things around the application process. So I was wondering, what is the application process and what was your experience of it? And also the interview, yeah. Anyone can answer.
Mine was through my local council, their outreach
Mm.
program. I don't know if that was specific during COVID because obviously the job centre wasn't open.
Yeah.
But I do know that on the video outside just now as I walked into work today, it said you can pop in to ask or go online to metrobankonline.co.uk, and down the bottom there'll be a careers link. There's also within this chat here, I think Steph and yourself might be putting up a direct link to the careers page as well. Those are the three I know.
Yeah, I had 2 interviews, I believe. So I applied it through Metro Bank career page. So I think within a couple of days, I got the call. I got an email saying that I've been selected. So there was a exam. I think there was an online exam we need to do. It's very pretty much simple. Anyone can do it. And after that, you will have a face-to-face, one-to-one interview. That's about for 1 hour's time. And I think it's on since it was on COVID time, I did it through Teams. So it's a video call basically. So it's about 1 hour, and that's it. And within next couple of days, you will get the reply.
Wow. Yes, that's like quite a quick turnover because like Gurdev, when Gurdev was talking about his experience, he was like
Same.
a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
He waited for ages
Very
for
quick.
Barclays, but really quickly. Yeah.
I mean, when I applied for my job, it was through when I was researching, it was Glassdoor. I just uploaded my CV and everything, and I got the call next day, and that was interviewed on on the phone, and they asked me to come in within 3 days, and I was there. That was it, and I was offered the position, and that was it. That's history now. Yeah. Okay.
We also have some question around a little bit around training. So do you get the job and then you're trained in the job, or are you trained to complete a program?
Within Amaze Direct, that's our department, the contact center. I don't know if that's a broader name, the contact center. So you begin in academy. And academy envisions, so they'll teach you the basics of the operating systems that we use, you know, like are you Android or are you Apple, you know, they'll teach you which ones that we use, and then how to take basic calls, some of the rules and regulations that the government have in place. And then after that, you have a certain sort of type of call that you need to take all by yourself. So you're given all the training and all the support. They can, even while you're speaking to a customer, like myself as a team coach, I can chime in and go, don't forget to say this. And they'll go, oh, yes. Oh, and thank you. Have a nice day. Or, you know, things like that. That's, you're guided and helped and supported every step along the way. So you do need some natural skills to start, maybe some like GCSE maths, GCSE English, you know, a pleasant demeanor, nice telephone manner, things like that. Just for this part, there's other jobs that are not customer facing, so I can only talk about what I can cover with you. But that's what you need. Just come with that, and as Gurdev said, a nice big smile. And then after that, once you've passed those calls that you've shown that you can take them by yourself, and that everything that we've taught you sort of sunk in, then you can you get a big sort of graduation ceremony. Well done, you've completed training, and welcome to this team. Then you get allocated a team and a team coach like me, and then above me would be an assistant manager, and then that's it. And then you can change roles. Like I started with this team, then I moved to Shuggy's team to business expert. Then you move around to different teams and different specialties. But that's like literally the career path there. So no, I came with, like I said, just casino knowledge, and here I am.
Thank you.
In my case, in the store, sorry, good. In my case, in the store, I was recruited to become a customer service rep. So that involved, first of all, being trained on opening personal accounts for our customers, and then after a little while of getting some practice at doing that to the right standard, I then was able to move on to a little bit more training with lending products such as overdrafts, credit cards, and so on. And once I was then bedded in with that part of the job, I would then move on to the next phase of my training and development, which involved opening accounts for business customers. So that involved another package of training, shadowing with experienced existing colleagues, and support from a mentor. And once I was then competent at doing business accounts, the next phase of my development was to learn how to be a cashier. And again, a training package, shadowing existing cashiers, support from experienced people, until I was then competent at that stage as well. And that was the case for myself nearly 5 years ago. And in fact, it's still the case for newer colleagues in the store where I work now. The colleagues will follow a very similar journey. Some of the topics may well be shuffled around a little bit, but essentially it's the same way.
So I'm just going to touch bases. What I've seen, obviously, the training was different before when I first started, but now is obviously so customer services representative. They have a 2-week training in store on Zoom, or Teams rather, um, and they train that, and then they after the 2 weeks, that once they've passed that, they come down and are shadowing colleagues down here, and they're gone through the process of doing that. And then they are shown how to open accounts, how to deal with customers, everything like that. And then once they start to open the account, they are taught about lending products as well, credit cards and everything. Once they've done that, they will do the business, what David said, they would go and do another training of the business. Once they're competent in that, they need to pass that, do some accounts, and then they will do cashiering, because Metro Bank is going towards multi-skilled. Everyone will be able to do that, so it's good. As a team, it's helping the team working as one. Yeah, thank you.
My screen had went for a second. So thank you so much. Unfortunately, we've run out of time for further questions, but thank you so much to our panelists and also Khushbu for giving us an insight into Metro Bank. And thank you for you, the audience, for joining in with us and interacting with us in the chat. I hope you found some really insightful information into this. Steph, who is our events lead, will be emailing you all and getting in touch with the recording of this session, and also answer some questions further that you've asked in the chat. But I hope you have a lovely afternoon, and thanks again.
Thank you. Best of luck, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you. All the best, everyone. Nice talking. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.